Hi everyone, I'm doing a reading today because I feel drawn to do so. I've just drawn some cards from the Osho Zen deck whilst listening to a video by Cryon, and I thought I would just pull some cards as I was in that sort of higher consciousness vibe. And so I'm just going to go through what I've drawn here, so that there's sort of different piles from the Osho Zen deck, and I feel that they're different parts of the story. So the first one that I drew was a card called Ripeness, and it's a 9. Then we have Clinging to the Past, which is a 5. And then we have Postponement, which is kind of a delay. And then we have this Breakthrough card. So this story here, in terms of the collective consciousness, is I feel the collective consciousness energies are now ripe for change. And this is 9, it's a completion, and you know, we've just sort of stepped into this sort of quantum energy portal, which was, I think, the 3rd to the 7th of July. Excuse me. And we're leading up to the 8-8 portal again. So this ripeness, something has shifted, things are going on. You know, in the UK we've just had our government sort of collapse. There's been many resignations, and our Prime Minister has just announced he's going to be resigning. So there is a collapse, which means a positive thing that we're ready for change. So what are we ready to change? 5, this is a 5. We're ready. So this is clinging to the past, this card. So it's clinging to the past. And what this means is that we're ready to let go of all of that in the past. We're ready kind of to move on. Something fell on the floor then, I'm not sure what that was. We're ready to move on and change how we view life going forwards. But before that happens, there's going to be a little bit of a delay for some reason. Maybe, I don't know, whatever happens in the world. I know our Prime Minister's not going to be leaving office until the autumn. So, you know, whilst things are sort of rejigging, there's going to be a bit of a delay of that. But people are ready to change, and they're waiting now expectantly for this new picture to be revealed, this new future. And then once that happens, we've got this breakthrough card, which is kind of like an epiphany of a breakthrough, a realization of what all this has been about. What, you know, many people will get individual breakthroughs. There might be, you know, societal breakthroughs, but there'll be a breakthrough nonetheless. And there is a saying in the personal development field, you have to break down to break through. And so with that, we have the Tower card here, which is another part of the story. We've had our Tower moment, okay? Things have broke down, are collapsing. You can see it's a very expressive card there. And what is breaking down and what is the end of, because we've got a 10 here, is suppression. Suppression of our freedoms, of our rights, suppression financially, suppression of any sort of person or sector of society that has not been amongst these elites. So this is going to be the end of that suppression. So we've kind of had enough of that, and what we're going towards is a sense of playfulness. And we've got the Lovers card here, which is the highest, you know, the higher love, the divine feminine, divine masculine, the union of the masculine and the feminine within us. And so there's a really good balance of those two energies. These are not necessarily people per se, but these are energies. So for example, masculine energy is about making decisions, taking action, setting up structures. Feminine energy is about nurturing, giving food, giving birth to new ideas, and, you know, receiving. So the playfulness of these two energies is going to create that sort of balance of change that we need, because it's been quite, you know, patriarchal and masculine. So so the rise of the feminine is actually happening. So the breakthrough, you know, will happen. We've had our tower moment where everything has broken down, and we're going towards this sort of new era of playfulness, creativity, giving birth to new ideas, to a new world, and focusing on that rather than what's gone wrong in the past. And that's really the energy that we're moving towards. And you will see over the next few months, years, whatever, that you may start to just feel, you know, to hell with everything that's happened in the past. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to think about, you know, what the future is. And I've already seen, you know, some of my friends on Facebook sort of saying that you know, they've had enough dwelling on the past, and they're just going to focus on the future and what they want to create. So we've got here the comparison card, you know, two different elements here, and it's comparing the past to the future, let's say, and it's like, okay, this is what we had. What is the new future going to be like? I'm looking forward to creating it, but we've got to have patience, you know. So you can see here we've got this pregnant divine feminine again, and the moon is also indicative of the feminine element. So we have to give birth to these ideas, but we have to allow time for them to become mature. And also there is kind of a little message there about the recent bills, things outlawed, cases overturned in the US regarding birth. So that could be another symbol of that change. But, you know, we have to be patient for those things to become born. And you can see she's sitting there very, just, you know, with her arms around it, just trusting that it will be birthed. You just have to give it time. So comparing the past with the future is going to require patience, but also there's a faith that, you know, things will happen if you plant the seed of desire. So the other part of the story is, you know, what's the underlying message is that the idea is that in order to be creative and nurturing, the emotional aspect of us is about getting in touch with our emotions and allowing them to flow. So instead of suppressing how we feel and you know, taboo about, you know, you shouldn't express your emotions, you know, man up, don't cry, whatever, that whole thing is going to change. And I do actually hear a lot of conversations between men that are much more emotionally driven. So that's going to become more apparent. And then we're going to let go of the conditioning that has been happening, and so that we can become more aware. So this awareness is now peeking through the veil. The veil is now being broken. And then we're going to go, that will take us into our third eye awareness, which is being able to see beyond the illusion. So the awareness is coming through the veil, and then the breakthrough experience is where you actually feel and you see through your third eye, your pineal gland. So that is happening, and that's kind of the underlying energy of the story of what's happening energetically, emotionally. The conditioning is going to be broken down, and I think that's already happened. Actually, we're all kind of seeing things for what it is, not trusting those institutions that we used to trust, and we're now being able to look to our own inner awareness so that we can see beyond the illusion of all of this facade. And the idea is to go within, and on the bottom of the deck here we've got the inner voice. So listening to your inner voice, again the accent is on the pineal gland, and then we also have the harmony. So that beautiful sense of harmony, which is the Ten of Cups, which is a really fantastic card to have. It's where you're in that flow. You can see, this blue flowing pattern here, and your inner voice is the one that's connected to the higher realms that are beyond the illusion. So that pineal gland connection, and again, there's a lot of blue here, a lot of sort of peeking through to the truth. Blue is the colour of truth. So more people are going to be in their truth and trusting it and going with that flow that those emotions bring through. So when you have a thought, is it a yes or a no? Is it expansion or contraction? And you go with the expansion feeling rather than the contraction feeling, because the contraction feeling is telling you that that's a conditioning that you had, and it's not really in line with who you actually really are. So when you get that expansion, that means you're moving towards an awareness, a greater awareness of your higher self. So I hope that is helpful today. It's quite a short video, but basically that's the state of the consciousness, of the collective consciousness, and it's, we're ready for change. We're going to start focusing on the future, but there's going to be a slight delay whilst things transition, but then there's going to be a breakthrough moment, and that's all based on the past. We've had our tower moment, everything collapsing. There'll be no more suppression. People won't be so willing to allow themselves to be suppressed. It'll be, they're moving into their sovereignty, their higher power, their ability to create through their own minds and desires and dreams, being able to create those on the fly. But there is a period of patience when we look at the past, which is very wooden, and to this new sort of flexible future that will be more flexible and in alignment with who we really are. And then the energy of that is greater emotional intelligence, a breaking down of the old conditioning that we've been entrained for all these years, and the beginning to have greater awareness and eventually see through, beyond illusion to the truth. Now, some people use substances for that. You know, I don't particularly, but some people use, you know, ayahuasca or sort of psilocybin mushrooms. I've never used any of those. I just do it through meditation and a lot of trance work, because I'm trained in hypnosis and trance work. Studied with Dolores Cannon and Caroline Mace and lots of great teachers, so I believe I can do these things with my own mind, with the skills I have. So yeah, whichever way it gets you there, to that point that you can see beyond the illusion, so that you can make those decisions on your emotional intelligence, setting your focus on the future of what you want to create, and then allowing those seeds of dreams to come to fruition with patience and not wanting to force it or, you know, push it forward any further than it's ready to do so. So that's all I'm going to say today, and thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share, and even click the bell icon to catch the next video. So thank you for listening. Namaste. Have a great day.